This video is entitled Maintenance, Parts File, Parts List Overview. The Commodity Search tab is the first tab on the tab list going from the bottom of the form to the top. So we have the Commodity Search tab, the Index tab, part number. We explained all of these tabs earlier. You use the Commodity Search tab to do maintenance on your parts file. So we're going to talk about a little bit of the tools that you have available to do that. Each of the commodities, when selected, will display a list of indexes associated with the commodity. So if I choose copper pipe, copper wire, I have indexes for copper wire. If aluminum wire, there's some indexes for that. For aluminum wire, Romex, I have some indexes for Romex. Each of the indexes under each part contains a list of parts controlled by the index. You will notice that as you click on each individual items on the list, the form will display informational panels describing the items selected in a little bit more detail. Since all I have selected at this point is our commodities, I have the commodity information panel showing on the screen, and it's just letting me know what the information is. It has an edit button which would allow me to edit the commodity, or a view button that would allow me to view the commodity in more detail. As I go down, if I select an index, now I have a part index detail window that has an edit button and a view button that will allow me to adjust a index. And if I select a part, then I have a part information tab that would allow me to edit or view a part in more detail. In addition to these, the tree contains some specialized entries that will display the tools necessary to perform the following functions. The new commodity name at the top of the form would allow me to manually create a commodity. The only case where I would have to manually create a commodity would be when I was going to add some parts to the parts file that were not contained in any of the electronic catalog systems. Because if I was going to import a part from an electronic catalog system, the electronic catalog system would create the commodity for me automatically if it did not exist. If it did exist, it would just add the commodity to that particular index that it was found. In addition to that, we have new indexes. New part index, and you'll find create new part indexes throughout the system. There are none here because I'm looking at a part. There's a new part index. There's a new part index. Every place there's a new part index. All of these are synonyms for each other. They're only placed here so that I don't have to scroll to the top of the list and find a new part index. If I wanted to create a new part index, I just highlight that one, click the button, or I can double click on this item as well. In addition to that, we have new part forms. Now, it should be noted that new part, you cannot create an index for an item in a system that does not exist, for a new part that does not exist. You would have to create the new part first. And if you go into the new part system and go import a part from an electronic catalog, in addition to creating the commodity, the import operation will not only create the commodity, it will also create a default index for that item that you can come back later and edit. So the new part function, when used automatically, performs the task of importing the part. Then it creates an index, then it creates a commodity for that index group. Or if you do this manually, if you use the new part form to create a part manually that is not included in your electronic catalog, you can't find something, it's something that is extraneous to your catalog system, then you would create the new part first, then you would create the new part index. Now you could create the commodity first and go use that and then assign this all into that one commodity. You don't have to wait till you have the index and the part before you can create the commodity. You can do that first, but the new part index is the only one that requires that you have the new part created first. This concludes Maintenance, Parts File, Parts List Overview.